here we are in the studio. I'm Lenny DiCaprio.
Lenny DiCaprio. I'm Joseph, like Cordon Bleu University.
I'm Fred Fox.
Fred Fox here. Yeah, nice to have you on our show, Fred.
Our guest.
Our guest.
Our guest show.
Fred Fox.
So we have a couple topics we'd like to discuss here. The first topic being, what was your favorite part of English class this year? And why not start with our guest, Fred Fox? Fred, what was your favorite part?
What was your favorite part of English this year?
My favorite part of this year in English class was just enjoying the company of all of my great and dear friends.
Great and dear friends, I like it.
I don't know who these kids are, but...
it's not specific.
Not specific at all. Do you have any specific people you want to mention?
Any
shout-outs?
Any shout-outs?
Definitely Lenny DiCaprio.
Okay,
definitely.
Awesome.
Yeah.
And this kid named Connor Bowles. I don't know if you've heard of him. He's really not that popular.
Okay, right. It's kind of a...
Yeah. But he's a funny thing.
Okay, all right, good.
Okay.
All right, and so what about you?
Well, I'd say my favorite part, every man enjoys a good cry, and the Iron Giant. When we watched the Iron Giant, I was like a little baby because that movie. I mean, come on, Superman, you stay, I go. That's some feelings right there.
We watched that again.
I'm tearing up right now.
Right.
And the great feeling of relief that you feel when the corkscrew turns on.
And he starts crawling back to himself.
Nothing quite hits you that hard. And I know that we watched that movie again in history class this year, and boy, the tears were shed.
Oh, were there? Would you say more people cried in history than in English?
Ooh, yeah, because I know that Hana Filipino is in my history class, and the tears were flowing. Let me just say that much. The tears were flowing. It was great. She had never seen it before.
It's interesting. You'd have a sci-fi movie.
Yeah,
in the history class.
We all know that the Iron Giant has the Cold War ties. Right?
Oh, Cold War.
So,
okay.
My history teacher, Mr. Stephen Nims, decided that it would be a good idea to show that movie. And kind of dissect it a little bit, to show you what the ties were to the Cold War.
Yeah, there were ties to the Cold War.
Yeah, there were definite ties.
Yeah, a lot of small things, Yeah. And a giant.
And an Iron Giant, of course.
That's why we watched the Sci Fi class.
Right, definitely.
What was your favorite part, Joseph Cordon Bleu University?
Well, that's a very hard question, but, I don't know. I really personally enjoyed Blade Runner. That is a very good movie. I actually did a little research after watching it. I'd watched it before, but watching it again made me kind of want to know more about it. And I learned that Harrison Ford just hates that director now.
Oh, really?
What's his name? The director of that movie.
Oh, whatever.
Whatever.
Yeah.
We all know.
Knows
it's Blade Runner.
It's Blade Runner.
It's Blade Runner. But they have a undying hatred for each other because I think the director made Harrison Ford do something just shy of 100 voiceovers of one scene or something.
Wow.
Just over and over again in the studio. So obviously, the love is not shared there.
That is ridiculous.
Yeah.
That is a lot.
But definitely that movie. A very, very good movie. I like how it shows kind of a gritty future, whereas it's not our technology is so great or whatever. It's kind of like a dark kind of, and I feel like it's sort of a believable future, and that's what I enjoy about it.
Yeah, it was pretty believable. For a sci-fi movie showing the future, I think a lot of them will overshoot how great life is.
Right,
with the tech. And this one, Blade Runner, showed the poverty people still had. They had all the stuff.
Humans haven't changed.
Cars floated. They had cars that hovered, but people were still hungry on the streets.
Right.
Well, not everybody had a floating car too.
Yeah.
That's true. Yeah,
the
probably
man
the
had
people.
a floating car.
The man had the floating car. The policeman.
Right.
Yeah. Harrison Ford. He was a Blade Runner.
It's interesting that movie they were still using normal guns. It was
yes.
a normal gun that just made a different noise.
It had a light on it too. I'm pretty sure, like an LED or something. It looked pretty. It looked interesting. It was a weird shape. It didn't look very.
You never know. We haven't gotten past the guns yet in real life. How do you know we'll end up with lasers? People talk about it.
Who knows, man?
Who knows?
All right. Topic number 2. I'm glad you guys all put in your great input there. Topic number 2 is, what is your favorite sci-fi movie?
Favorite
sci-fi movie of all time?
That is a question that can't be answered.
What did I answer before?
You can do the top 2 or something, or just, I don't know, short
Wait, no.
list.
Here, I have an idea. I have an idea for topic number 2. Most underrated sci-fi.
Oh, okay, most
underrated sci-fi you think is great, other people aren't into.
All right. We're probably going to have to think about that a little bit.
Wait.
Isaac, do you have something specific
Just
in
a
mind?
minute. Okay, who'd like to start? Most underrated sci-fi movie.
Well, I have two that I'd like to say right off the bat and sing their praises once again. Appleseed and Titan A.E. While both animated movies are still some of the really great sci-fi movies in my life. And I think the reason why they're not appreciated is because they're animated.
Oh, you think less love for the animated films?
Actually, yeah.
Sci-fi. It is an odd combination. Science fiction and animation, I think, is definitely done less.
Usually, people tend to associate animation with more childlike plots and themes.
And sci-fi is generally more adult.
Yeah.
I think, honestly, that's pretty unfair, because then you have, like, animation... Well, I mean, to say that animation is childlike. There are very good movies, TV shows... I guess like anime comic strip stuff like that are like very solid, very good,
very deep.
To just kind of condemn them as like child's material is really just unfair.
Yeah,
I feel
it's unfair. It's unfortunate.
Yeah, I know, because then you have like TV shows that are like Family Guy, South Park, I don't know, all those kind of variant shows, and those are very popular with adult audiences. And to say that only children like cartoons are for kids, that is just patently false. I feel.
Yeah, it's very untrue.
Yeah,
there's a lot of cases of really good, and another what comes to mind is Akira, as another like animated good sci-fi movie that maybe people just think less of because it's animated.
Right. Yeah, well, my personal favorite sci-fi, I'm going to say movie, but I would say the Carl Sagan's Cosmos, A Personal Voyage, has to be my favorite sci-fi, well, it's really more of a TV show, I guess.
More of a TV show?
Yeah. It was only one season, 13 episodes, so, you know.
It's kind of short.
It was kind of short. It was very informative. It was a very good thing. It showed... the American public at the time, you know, it kind of opened their eyes to like what, you know, like what's around us, what's out there, you know, in the galaxy and stuff. And
why do you think it got? It got canceled. It only had one. Season.
Well, no, it was never designed to go past 13 episodes. It wasn't canceled. It was just kind of stopped.
It had a run.
Yeah, it had a run and then it stopped there. It was more of like a kind of an informative thing, anyways.
I see.
It wasn't meant to be more like a Nova. It was meant to be more of just a.
Yeah.
They wrote it from beginning to end.
He had something in mind. He had an ending in mind.
He had a very specific thing in mind.
Yeah.
Of what he wanted to do. So. And then, of course, you have the new one with Neil deGrasse Tyson, and that one is pretty good, but it's not quite, you know, it's not Carl Sagan.
It's the #1 rated show on TV right now.
Whoa, really? I didn't know that. Okay.
It's the highest rated.
Well, there's a reason for that.
It's winning by a very small margin.
Right.
But as of I think 2 weeks ago, it was. Okay. I honestly can't remember. I remember remarking that I did not expect it to be the highest rated show. It had a 9.5 out of 10. Again, this was 2 weeks ago. Yeah. Things change.
Still a very good...
there was a time when it was up there, and I really wouldn't expect a science TV show to be that high. It's great. It gives me hope.
Yeah, if you guys haven't seen that, I seriously suggest watching it. Well, at least the new one that's out. I tried buying the old Cosmos one. You can't find it. It is, like, I looked, it's like $100 on Amazon. It's like you have to have Prime, too. And Prime makes it like $75. It's like, oh, that's so ridiculous for 13 episodes. That's ludicrous. So, yeah. I feel like that's ridiculous. So what about you?
Well, my favorite sci-fi movie is gonna have to be. It's a lesser-known Star Wars film. It's the Star Wars Episode 0. Well, I guess I'm stuck between two Star Wars films. There's the Christmas special, the famed Christmas special.
Right.
No one likes to talk about that one, but I really love the acting. It all really seemed like the actors wanted to be there, and. But, definitely, I think the winner out of all of them would be Star Wars Episode 0, Jar Jar Binks, A Childhood. Because that movie, I mean, you have this character in Episode 1 that is given just so much more background and emotional depth when you've seen him grow up and go through the struggle. And it's definitely a lot different than other sci-fi movies because they have no Jedi or anything. Like, it's very, I'd say it's a much slower pace. But it's a tragic story, really, and people don't understand that Jar Jar Binks is the way he is for a reason.
Yeah, a lot of people think less of Episode 1 because they don't have the backstory.
Yeah, they haven't seen Episode 0. Of course. That's the issue. People need to watch the prequel to Episode 1, Jar Jar Binks, A Childhood.
So all you guys listening, make sure to try and look for that on the internet. Look wherever you can. Please try.
Yes,
and
people
get your
don't
hands.
know about that movie.
It needs to be watched.
It's a vital part of the Star Wars.
It's vital.
mythos,
If
and-
you're a big fan of Star Wars, you're missing a lot. You're missing out on a lot. I wouldn't say there's a lot of other characters other than Jar. I mean, it spends the entire time underwater. I mean, it's really a very focused film compared to the other Star Wars films. It's exclusively about Jar Jar.
Maybe the series needed it. You know,
It's
maybe.
what the series needed. You know,
Right.
they're always flying around all these different places. The plot's very varied. Sometimes you need to watch Jar Jar Binks sort of just grow up for 3 hours.
For 3, of course.
Yeah.
All right. Well, do we have any closing thoughts before we end the podcast here?
No, I don't think so. I'd like to give a shout out to Miss Durker.
Miss
for
Durker?
being- for being a great facilitator to our sci-fi
Of course,
reading and viewing.
Keeping us on the track, you know.
Yeah, keeping us on the sci-fi track.
Sweet victory at the end.
It's a sweet victory. Yep, at the end of the year. Any other closing thoughts? No. Okay. Well, that's been the podcast with Lenny DiCaprio and Joseph Legordon Blue University. Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen. And Fred Fox.